Hello all and welcome to Tradesmo. In this talking tutorial, I'm going to explain to you how to bedazzle and bling out these beautiful acrylic HoneyComb cups. They're not glass, but you always can opt to do a glass version. But for these, I like these strong plastic cups, and I will show you where I get them in the description of this video. These are real sturdy, and I use rhinestones as I always do, but you're going to see how bedazzling and beautiful they turn out, and it's so easy to make that anyone can do it. So as usual with my products and my projects, they're easy, and I'd like to show you how to do it. So just stay tuned and we will go. The first thing I do when I prep these cups is I just take some paper towels and I'm going to shove them into the glass. The main objective when you're spray painting, you don't want to get anything inside of the glass. You know, who wants to drink from a glass and then the lips get on paint that's on the inside, or you don't want paint to come in contact with anything that you're drinking. So we're just going to shove maybe about 3 or 4 pieces of paper towels in to try to protect the interior of the glass. And I use a roll of painter's tape. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to outline the inside of the glass with the painter's tape while using the paper towels that's shoved inside the glass as a buffer. And again, the main objective is that you don't want to have anything on the inside. If you were to get paint on the inside of the glass, you have to use like 100% acrylic to clean it out, and that might damage the glass, or the cup rather. That might damage the cup because that's made out of plastic. But if you're using acrylic paint or something that's water-based, it wouldn't be as hard to try to get rid of the stuff that got on the inside of the glass. So what you see in here, I'm just outlining the glass. And see, that's what it looks like with me putting the painter's tape on the immediate top of the glass. And I don't want, when I'm spray painting, I don't want paint to soak into the paper towel. So I'm just going to put a roll of painter's tape over the top of the glass as well, so that way when you're spray painting it won't go through. You might get some, but it won't touch the inside of the glass, and again, that's your main objective. So I'm just laying the tape across the top, so in a way I'm protecting the paper towels as well. Anything you could do to try to make sure that you, when you're spray painting, that you don't get the paint around the rim on the inside. So see, that's what that looks like right there. Because I'm going to go all the way to the top with the paint. This is the paint I'm using. Krylon Fusion Red Pepper, Gloss Red Pepper. It's a paint and a primer. I love the color. So I just got an empty box, and that's what I use to protect my concrete. And let me just say this disclaimer. I always say, if you watch my other videos, I am not the best spray painter. And you don't have to be. That's the thrill of it. You don't have to be a professional spray painter in order to do this project. So I'm just basically covering the glass as best as I can. This is coat number 1. Going around trying to get an even coat. I know it looks pretty bad. And that's the other side that I didn't get while standing on one side of the box. And again, here we are, just trying to get an even coat. Spraying all parts of it that I can get. And that's what coat 1 looks like. And you're looking at it and it's like, oh, she did a pretty good job. No, I'm going to show you, because I'm keep it real. I'm going to show you what it looks like. Now I'm looking at the back of the can, and basically it's saying it takes 20 minutes to dry and an hour you can actually handle the cup. So this is what it looks like. It's still wet a little bit, but you see how bad the spray painting is? See, I have drips. Of course, I didn't get the underside of the glass when I was spray painting. Not at the time. I'm going to do it in a few minutes. But yeah, see, it's rough. But again, that's coat number one. But what I do is I flip the glass over now. I'm flipping it over because you want to get that underside. You want to make sure you get coverage, and because I don't want to be able to see clear through the glass when it's finished. So here we are with the second coat, and this is where I'm getting the bottom side of the glass. Making sure that I have a pretty thick layer. Again, main objective, you don't want to be able to just see clear through. You don't want it to be transparent at all. And see, I have a lot of drips going on too. Again, I'm just getting as much as I can. Well, in the second coat, I don't really want to have to do a third one. So now the glass has had time to dry. I gave it a couple of hours. Not bad, but as you see, I have some rough spots. Some of the glass is glossy, some isn't. But you see, the main objective, like I said, I wanted to, that's why I'm showing you the inside, so it's not transparent. I have enough on there where you don't see straight through to the back. And I'm showing you where the drips are, yes. But guess what? It's not going to matter because you're covering the whole thing with rhinestones. So you do not have to be perfect while you're spray painting these. And you also can elect to do a water-based paint that you could just remove stuff with the water if need be, if you get some on the inside. But here we are. Now, here we are blinging. I'm using a 5mm ruby red stone. This vendor is Azurex, but I get my stones from different places. I'll give you a link to the vendor, but I also buy my stones off Amazon, but these are coming from Azurex, and they're beautiful. Beautiful ruby red rhinestones, 5mm. Later on, I'm going to use a 4mm too. You might have to just not use just the one size in case you have small spaces to fill, but we'll get to that in a second. So I'm laying my stones out, preparing them to be able to, I can pick them up easy. Now you can use liquid fusion if you like, or gem tack. Of course, you know, if you see my other videos, my go-to is gem tack. That's what I chose to use. I'm going to make a starter row, and that's going to go around the top rim of the cup. You know, it doesn't take a whole lot, so please don't oversaturate it. Just a nice thin line. I'm speeding this up a little bit because I'm taking a slow time, and I'm sure you don't want to see all of that. But I'm just basically placing the stones and trying to keep my lines as straight as I can. And I'm just doing it on the rim now because you want your first starter row to be able to start the honeycomb. Just going around. Okay, so finish with that row. Just check your line. And I'm placing it upside down so in case the stones shift, they'll still shift in a straight line. Instead of if I place it right side up, it might shift downwards and mess up the line. So it's best to place it upside down on a silicone mat. And I'm just checking it. And I'll place it down in case if they shift. Now the row has had a time to dry a little bit. I gave it maybe about 30 minutes or so. And see, this is what it's looking like. Of course, it's still white because it takes Gem Tech a minute to clear. But you see, I feel confident enough where I can go ahead and start the honeycomb row. So I'm going to place the next line of glue directly underneath the first line. Speeding it up a little bit. Not over applying the glue. You don't need all of that. Just enough to like pretty much let the stone grasp the glue when you place it. This is where you start to do the honeycomb pattern. See how I have the in-between spaces in between the first row? You want to make sure you place it in the in-between. Main objective is to not let them be directly under each other. It's like you want to do one off from each other. Here's a design of the honeycomb in case if someone doesn't know what I'm referring to. See how you have your straight lines and there's like offsetted rows? Well, that's what I'm doing with this. That is your honeycomb pattern. You see there's a close-up. See how it's offsetting each other? As you go down the rows, that's what you're doing. Trying not to make them straight underneath each other because that's when it gets kind of wonky, for lack of a better word. And I'm going to go all the way around the rest of the cup. Now, here's a side note. As you go down the cup, you see how the hurricane shape is like concaves and goes back out. It's going to get harder and harder to maintain the honeycomb pattern when that happens. Because this isn't just a straight line cup up and down. So you have curves and contours. So your pattern's going to change a little bit, and that's where I say make sure that you try not to have them directly under each other when you're doing it, and you'll be fine. Trust the process. So here we are at the halfway point, and this is what we're looking like. And while I'm doing that, I'm straightening the row, making sure your rows are straight. See, this is why you paint the cup. Long story short, because it hides a lot of the imperfections when you have a colored cup. Make sure the color that you're painting is the same color as the rhinestones. But yes, I even though some of the pattern got shifted because of the concaves, you really can't even tell looking at it. Now here's the completed cup 3 hours later. It's not completely dry as you see with the gem tag. But just so you see what I did the entire surface of the cup. And see, you can't even see any drips or anything because the stones help hide all of that. And I did the entire bottom. I did the rim of the cup, the bottom rim. Now this is where I use 4mm stones for the rim of the cup and also on the bottom part, like the little ball. Here's my 4mm stones I use on the mat. So you need to use the smaller stones for like small, intricate places. So it's good to have different sizes on hand just in case. But yes, so now that's good to go. And we're going to go and let that dry. And I'm going to go on and start on the second cup, which I'm going to do the exact same way that I did the first one. So see the difference? The first one is finished. The second one looks all messed up with the spray paint and everything. But again, trust the process. It's going to look exactly the same as the second cup because we're going to do the same thing to it. I didn't do the second cup the same day because I didn't have enough time and patience to do another 3-hour run. So there's the second cup I just showed you. Here's the first one where the cup is dry. I think I have a little spot of white on there still, but for the most part, it's dry. And you don't see that much gem tack on there, the white. It's on the bottom little part where I put it on thick. But isn't that gorgeous? And again, when you color the cup, that's what I made. Don't put a clear or red rhinestones on a clear cup if you don't want to show all the imperfections. And this was a 5,000 piece bag of these rhinestones. So see how many I have left after I did 2 cups? It's a little less than half. I don't think I have enough stones to do a whole nother cup. I may, but 5,000 rhinestones and you got 2 cups out of that. That's not bad at all. Here we are with our finished product. There's the before, plain acrylic, and the after. Pimp Glass 101. Thank you for watching.